This is episode 11 in my All About Fall series.
Hi guys and gals, this is Pat of Pat's Home Craft. Welcome to my channel. I'm so happy you stopped by. Are you ready for wonderfully creative and talented ideas?
Today's challenge is the Fall DIY Challenge, brought to you by SHUSHANNA of REGAL Designs by SHUSHANNA. For my Fall DIY, I wanted to create a Halloween-themed DIY. I found this cute ladder at Lowe's, and I knew that I had to recreate it. It has a cute sign, it has cute pumpkins, a ghost, and a spider. I knew I could pull this together, but I had to put my thinking cap on. I had to figure out how to use some bargain-friendly Dollar Tree items to make this really budget conscious. While I was at Lowe's, I went ahead and picked up a board to help me with my project to create the ladder. The board is about a 1.5 inch by 1/2 inch, and it was about 8 feet long. And with my handy miter box and saw, I put that to good use, and I cut down the boards, and I want to say I probably cut about a 3 foot to about a 3.5 foot. The one that I saw in the store at Lowe's, that was considerably larger, and I didn't want to go that large, but I did want to have something larger than just a tabletop type of decoration. I purchased these large painter sticks at Walmart, and they come, I want to say 3 or 4 to a pack, and I am using 2 of them to cut, and they will be the rungs of the ladder. I'm only going to need 3. This miter box is so handy, you guys. I really am glad that I purchased this. And this is an actual Dollar Tree shamrock sign. I had saved this from the spring, and so I very carefully with a screwdriver pried off the banner. I would like to take this time to tell you about our host, Shoshana of Regal Designs by Shoshana. On her channel, you will find lots of home and seasonal decor. Shoshana says that fall is her favorite season. She also does a lot of cleaning, thrifting, DIYs, crafts, and lifestyle videos. Please be sure and stop by Shoshana's channel. Her channel link will be down in the description box, along with the playlist link. And a small piece of it chipped off. I had to put it back together with my quick adhesive glue. And now I'm taking Waverly chalk paint in steel, and I'm going to coat all these pieces with about 3 coats of this chalk paint. The banner I painted in silver lining chalk paint by Waverly, and after I applied 2 coats, I came back with white chalk paint. I am blending it in with the still wet silver lining paint. After everything has dried, after the 3 coats, I'm using my sanding sponge from Dollar Tree, and I am just, especially on the edges, sanding to give it a distressed look. And I will do this also with the painter sticks. And also, I will do this to the banner. You don't have to be very firm with the sanding, just very lightly. And now I'm attaching the banner to the top with my quick adhesive glue and a dab of hot glue to keep it in place immediately. if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. And be sure to hit that notification bell and select all so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. And now I'm going to do the same for all the rungs. The inspiration ladder had rungs that stuck out probably about 1.5 inches longer than the actual width of the ladder. And I decided to not have that happen. I wanted it to be flush with the actual, the vertical pieces. And here I am by hand just making the lettering welcome. And I started off by placing the C first because that is exactly the center point, and the C is the exact center of the word. You can see it tracing there of the W. It's because I messed up, and so I went back and I erased it and I applied it with the pencil. That's the beauty of using pencil. And here I'm using my Sharpie marker in black, and I'm going to outline the entire thing and then come back with a much bolder, thicker line. That is why you use pencil first, and then you use something more permanent like the actual color that you're going to use, so you can erase if you have a little mess up. These letters aren't perfect, but I wanted this sign to be more homey and more casual. And now I'm coming back with the steel, and I'm doing some distressed look. And unfortunately, I got ahead of myself and I started to apply it over the actual words themselves, the letters, and I really messed up. But that's okay. I just kept going on, and I just avoided the rest of the letters because I'm going to come back with my black Sharpie marker, and I'm going to go over wherever I did touch upon with the steel chalk paint and make it very bold once again with the black. And now here I'm going to show you something that I did not end up using, but I did want to show you something that I discovered. I wanted to use this sign, but I only wanted to use a section of it, and I liked this pumpkin because it had a good shape for the sign. I wanted to write the word ghouls on it, and I wanted it to go directly under the welcome. But what I didn't realize is that once I started to sand off the wording, I started realizing that all of the wording was coming off. I was imagining I was going to paint the entire thing. I was choosing this for its shape, but I didn't realize that all of that was going to actually come off. I was just trying to get the glitter off, and all of it came off. And it is actually metal. I thought it was just a painting technique that had achieved that, but no. And so now there's this nice shiny metal sign. So I decided, no, I don't want to ruin that. I want to use that for another project. And instead, I'm using this sign from Dollar Tree, and I like the center one, which really in the end turned out better. I loved the little bumpy edges on the sides, and so I just went with this one. And I'm going to paint with my pumpkin colored chalk paint by Waverly, and I will also give that 3 coats. And while I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm taking this package of pumpkins that are the wood pumpkins from Dollar Tree also, and I am giving them 1 coat of the ink in chalk paint. And this covered so well that I only needed to paint one coat. Now, while I am waiting for my little sign and my pumpkins to dry, I'm going to work on the spider. I'm taking this little scarecrow kid that is like a little pick, and it came in a 2-pack from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use the round portion for the head, or actually for the body of the spider. I'm removing all the raffia and the little hat and save those for another time or something else that I could use it for. And I'm going to remove the stick, which came out pretty easily. And at the back section, I want to hot glue that all together so it's not, it was loose and open after I had removed everything. And now with my ink chalk paint, I'm going to paint the body of the spider. I thought this was perfect for the spider. And now that these are dry, I'm going to, with my chalk marker, I'm going to draw the designs that I want on my pumpkins. And I did do some research on Pinterest, and I found some pumpkins that I copied. And I chose 3 different designs. 1 was funny and 2 were a little bit menacing, but all 3 of them were very fun. And I'm going to now use the pumpkin chalk paint, and I'm going to go back through and just add in with the very thin brush. Just simply outline and then fill it in. Very, very simple, but it's a lot easier when you have an actual pattern traced on. If you don't trust yourself, you can always find some patterns, like I want to say the crafting stores probably have patterns that you could trace, you could use. They probably have stencils that you can use. Now here I have the spider that I'm creating the face from the inspiration. And now on all my pumpkins, as well as the spider face, I am placing some Mod Podge for protection if I want to keep this sign outside. And now I am with chalk marker writing the word ghouls, and I am with a thin brush painting a much bolder, thicker font over the handwritten word. You can really get creative with fonts, or if you have a Cricut machine, that would be great. If you have some stencils. I really like to do a lot of handwritten signs. It's not perfect, but I really like to push myself to try to create it all myself. If you notice, the S and the G are both larger than the rest of the letters. I did this purposely because I wanted the 2 letters to stand out. And now with my paintbrush, I'm just taking a dry brushing technique and just simply distressing this little sign all the way around, just on the edges. Now I'm going to make my ghost out of this burlap leaf. I thought to myself, how am I going to make this ghost? And I thought, well, I could use cardboard or something like that. But then I thought, no, because if I want to keep it outside, I'll really have to treat it with something to keep it from being messed up in the rain and the elements. So I thought, this burlap leaf somewhat has a shape like a ghost, and I could manipulate it. Also, what I liked about the leaf is that I can make it stiff with Mod Podge and with paint. It will become a much stiffer material and will hold up. Also, it has a wire that is running in the back of it, and then that is also providing some more strength and not durability, but rather making it stiffer, giving it body and shape to the center of it. So I cut the very tip of it off, as you saw there, and I'm shaping the head more round because it was very pointed. I shaped it rounded, and I'm just hot gluing it on. And now I'm going to create the body, which I'm going to keep it in line with the size of the head. And those other 2 points on the sides, those will be the arms to my ghost. But they are very pointed also, so I need to round off those edges and make it a little bit thinner. And so now I'm going to do the same for the other side. So I'm going to make the arms smaller and more rounded, and cut inwards for the body. And so I'll just trim a little bit here also. And here we see the shape of the ghost. That's the basic shape. Now I wanted to create some little billowy tendrils at the bottom. The other ghost had something somewhat like it. I'm trying to recreate what I've been inspired by, but I do want to have something of my own artistry in there, so I decided let me make some little edging, not edging, but some curly ends coming out like drapery. And so I've got these pieces left, and I'm just simply cutting them and creating a little curl at the end. And I've created 3 of them. And so once I've kind of configured them, I'm going to just get some hot glue and put them, or apply them to the actual body. And there we go. And so for the color, I'm using chalk paint in white, and I'm just putting it on really thick. I'm not going to use a second coat. I just want to do a first coat. I like the fact that it is burlap, and even though all of it has been pieced on, you can see that once I put the white paint, I feel that it is enough coverage to cover all the pieced portions of it, especially since it is a natural fabric. And using the ink chalk paint, I'm creating the mouth and the little eyes. And I've decided to go ahead and do a little bit of distressing and just a little bit additional onto his body. Now, the spider, we are going to use this Dollar Tree floral, which is a very glittery branch. It has glitter all over this branch, and I'm going to cut each one of these arms off the branch, and then I'm going to cut all these little tendril type pieces off because I want it to just be the branch itself without anything extra. These are going to be the legs. I chose this floral branch because it does have a bendable quality to it, and I wouldn't have to paint it, and it does have the glitter, so it adds a little bit extra to the spider by having the glitter on it. And so now I've cut 4 arms, and I'm going to need 4 more arms. So I've done the same with the 5th branch, but I'm cutting it in half, and that will serve as the front legs or the 4 legs. And I'm just bending them in a pattern that I think would work for the spider shape. And I'll just follow along all of them in this same shape. And then placing them to see how they will look. And then I'm going to bend the smaller ones. I'm bending these smaller ones, and I love them. They look great. Now I'm going to glue on 2 of the larger sections, and I let that dry before I started on the second 2 arms or legs. I keep saying arms, but they're legs. I guess they're both. And now I'm just using some of the glue that's left over that's still pliant and hot, and I'm using some of that for the 2 smaller ones. And now I'm just taking these 2 small pieces that were from the branches that I cut off. And there we go. There is my little spider. I decided to trim off the 2 legs in the front, the 2 larger ones. Now I'm going to put all of this together. I've decided to attach my ghouls with some twine to the back of the welcome sign, and so that will just hang. I've just attached it with twine and hot glue. And now I flipped it back over, and I didn't want my pumpkins to just hang because they might flip around. I didn't want that to happen, so I'm going to attach them to each other, and then I will attach that one single piece to the top rung of the ladder. So here I'm arranging them how I want them. I did thread through each of the holes. They each have a hole in their stem. I did thread some twine through them, and now I'm just with hot glue attaching the 2 end ones with the center one. And once that's dried, now I'm going to attach the whole thing to the top rung, and now they won't swing and they won't flip around. But because I have the twine, it has the illusion that they are tied on. And it gives a little extra 3-dimensional quality, or 4-dimensional quality rather. And here is my ghost. I just simply folded down the wire stem down to the body, and with just a dab of hot glue, my ghost is applied onto the middle rung. And now my spider, with some more hot glue, I will just attach him on. And there we go. He's adorable. I don't know which one I love the most, Let me know in the comments below if you like the spider or the ghost or my pumpkins best. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up like. And here is my ladder. I'm so excited for Halloween and I'm getting myself ready for it, and I love this. I'm so happy. It came out really cute. I am very pleased with the end product, although it does have some differences in it. I love my touches to it. I brought a little bit more color into it by creating the ghouls sign with orange. Let me know in the comments below if you like this ladder and if you thought that I did a great job in recreating it. If you're interested in my luminary, be sure to catch my video in my All About Fall series. This hot apple cider sign was another one of my All About Fall series videos. And if you want to see how I made this Hello Fall pumpkin sign, please check that series out also. Please be sure to check out the challenge host channel link in the description box, along with all the playlist link videos. Be sure to always look around you for the beauty in your life. It can sometimes get a little bit spooky, but it is right there waiting for you to see it. Until the next video, have a spooky day.